Hey everybody, what's up? Dave here. And this is my weekly video. This is everything that pertains to me, my YouTube channel, and my Twitch channel for week 15, which is April 11th through the 17th. And I'm coming to you live from my dungeon under the house. Yes, I have a dungeon. Every dungeon master should have a dungeon under his or her house. So, alright, so let's get started. First thing I like to do, every weekly video, I like to do a grab bag of just comments or questions that the viewers ask in my comment section for each weekly Monday video. And if you guys have any questions you want to ask, whether it be about Dungeons & Dragons 5e, 4th edition, any game whatsoever that I play, and I play just a ton of games, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll put it on next Monday's video. So it's simple as that. So PR Crazy, he asked about Dungeons & Dragons 5e. He says, hey Dave, D&D 5e is so crazy now. It's so popular. Everybody's on the D&D 5e bandwagon that you created on Twitch. And he goes, Dave, how long do you think D&D 5e is going to actually last? And that's a great question, PR Crazy. Hopefully it'll last a lot longer than Edition 3e. Too soon, maybe? Anyways, sorry all you 3E fans out there that still feels betrayed after 16 years. I actually see the longevity of D&D 5e being a long time. And I'm talking such a long time. I'm talking Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition longevity. 2nd edition lasted like over 15, between 15 and 20 years. I mean, they were still TSR / Wizards of the Coast when they, bought out TSR. They were still putting 2nd stuff out, trickling it out, even when like 3rd edition came out. So I could see D&D 5e lasting a long time, especially now with the the Dungeon Master's Workshop, the new 5e OGL that was announced a month and a half ago. I really see 5e lasting a long time, and I'm talking 2e longevity, which is a good thing. I really think it would be good for the game. I mean, there would be a plethora of information and products out for it, so it's win-win for Wizards of the Coast, and it's win-win for the community, and it's win-win for all of the publishing companies too that are not Wizards of the Coast, and they can take advantage of the 5e OGL, and there will be a lot of quality, second publisher products out there. So embrace them. I mean, embrace stuff that isn't Wizards of the Coast, guys. That's what the OGL is all about. Embrace it. So, good question, PR Crazy. I think it'll last a long time. So, Mike Lane, the other question is by Mike Lane, and he was wondering, Dave, how do I budget and create an encounter for Fantasy Age? Well, that's a great question, and that's a question that we could ask Stephen Hawking, because nobody knows how to create an encounter for Fantasy Age. Granted, yes, there is some information in the Titan's Grave book, and the core rule book for Fantasy Age as well. And there's some information in the Dragon Age core book that has all 3 of the box sets, box set 1, 2, and 3 for levels 1 through 20. So, alright, so here's the adversary threat. There is 5 levels of creatures now. A minor threat is for PC range 1 through 4. A moderate threat creature is for PC levels 5 to 8. A major threat is for PC characters 9 to 12. A dire threat is for PCs 13 to 17. And a legendary threat is for PCs 18 to 20. Now, on all of the creatures, with their stat block and stuff, they will give you now, which was not in, Dragon Age box set 1 or 2, and even in, I've noticed in the Titan's Grave book, they don't even list what threat the creatures are in here. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just that creatures are such a mystery in Fantasy Age, and I love this game, man. I really do. But how I usually do it when I do Fantasy Age, I usually take a couple things into consideration. Are there any powers on these monsters? Are there any kind of features that will flat out kill people with one shot? If there are, I usually don't throw those creatures against that party unless you feel like being pretty mean to your party, or if it is a super legendary encounter, then yeah, sure, somebody could die in one shot. But for the most part, if you have minor threat creatures like wolves and bears and stuff, maybe I don't know, maybe blood mages or the apostates or some kind of NPC. If it's minor, levels 1 through 4, I would go 1 for 1 per party member. And if you want a little bit more challenging of an encounter, I would go 1 to 5 to 1 person. So if there's 2 people, do 3 NPCs. If there's 4 people in the group, put 6 NPCs. And it also talks about beefing up the adversaries as well. It'll give you a little bit more abilities to put into the creatures and stuff. So there's ways now to upgrade the creatures. If you want to make them a little bit more tougher of an adversary, you can do that. I hope that helps out. I hope I didn't confuse you, Mike, but really there's no official way of doing it. Just do 1 for 1 per party range, and look at the threat level in both either the Dragon Age book or the Fantasy Age book. There is in the Fantasy Age core book, there's also a section of adversaries, which that was kind of lackluster too, with about 7 or 8 or 13 monsters or something in it. But it does have a threat level chart, so just match up the threat level with the characters, 1 for 1 or 1 for 5, 1 to 5 to 1 or whatever. So that's what I usually do. So, all right, so that's the grab bag for this week. Sorry I went on a lot about that Fantasy Age, but that was actually pretty disappointing about that game. I mean, it's a beautiful game, guys. I mean, if you guys haven't played Fantasy Age yet or Dragon Age, try it. I mean, there's free PDFs that you can download from the Green or 9 website and try the game out. It is beautiful, but coming from a dungeon master's point of view, you don't want to be scratching your head for 45 minutes to an hour trying to figure out a campaign when hopefully you're wanting some kind of information for it. So next, let's talk about t-shirts. You guys had asked for it. I didn't want to do another t-shirt drive. Couple days ago, 3 days ago, the t-shirt drive is now active. So the website is here, and you can click on that link and you can get men's tees, women's tees, and pullover hoodies. The hoodies are only going to be in black. The t-shirts, men's and women's, they're in a ton of different sizes, and you can get 7 different colors, and they're $22.99 a piece, and you guys can pick them up till the end of the month. So you guys wanted tabletoping t-shirts. You guys voted on the logo that you wanted, and that is it. And here's what the t-shirts look like as well up above. Really nice t-shirts, guys. I bought 3 t-shirts last time. I'm going to get a couple more. My son wants a couple more, so get them, because this will probably be the last time that you see the tabletoping t-shirts. Probably for a long while. Alright, next. I need some help, guys. I'm almost halfway there for subscribers for my new small little YouTube channel that I created called The American FM. And the link for The American FM is here and will also be at the end of the video. And please, guys, subscribe to that channel. It is a video game that I truly like called Football Manager. It's about soccer. Or European football, and I'm incorporating role-playing into the games. So I'm having speeches with my team. I'm trying to motivate them to go out and play and not lose. I have 2 different games going, so there's not going to be a whole lot of content on that channel. Maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, maybe a couple Football Manager tutorials every once in a while that people request. If I know how to do it, then I'll do it. So it's just going to be a real small channel, and like I said last week, the only reason why I created the channel is to keep them separate from my D&D stuff on the tabletoping channel. So please, guys, give that channel a follow. I need 100 subscribers on that channel so it unlocks everything, and I can change the domain name and all that other good stuff. So guys, please help me out on that. Alright, thank you. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some D&D style role play in that game, and I'm going to have other people helping me with it, and it's going to be really nicely done. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So, all right. Now, sorry about the celebrity game not happening last week. We were going to play last Friday, and if you guys don't know, I do a celebrity game usually once a month that has Chris Pramus from Green Renine Publishing, Wolfgang Bauer from Kobold Press, Rachel Ventura from Legendary Games, the owner of AdventureWeek.com, which is Jonathan Nelson, and then Jen Gray. She's been in a lot of Monty Cook stuff. She's been in a lot of Geek and Sundry stuff, and I host a game for them once a month, and they're all very busy, and unfortunately we just weren't able to get everybody together to play last Friday, so we're going to reschedule that. Hopefully in a couple weeks, around the 20th-ish or so, we'll be able to play again. So, but they're all super busy, especially now with the 5e OGL out, and Wolfgang and his Tomb of Beast. I mean, and Chris and Jonathan's converting all of his Pathfinder stuff to 5e now. Chris is working on all the new Fantasy Age stuff, the new Titan's Grave. So, those guys are super busy, and we'll be playing whenever we can get everybody to play. So, just be patient, guys. All right. So the next thing is also going to deal with Friday night. So maybe on the nights that we are not playing the celebrity game on Friday night, would there be an interest in our community to play a D&D 5e starter box game? And this will be the Lost Mine of Phandelver. It will be, I will try to do this through Adventures League. I will try to make this official to where you'll have official D&D characters that you'll be able to take to any Adventures League game. Now, I'm looking for, if there's enough interest for this, and I would like for there to be a pretty big pool of players, and I would like to do this maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, for starting at level 1 characters, and we will play the entire Lost Mine of Phandelver game. So I'm not too sure on the rules of Adventure League yet if I can do that, but I'm going to check into it. So if there is enough interest, we'll do this. All right. So I'm going to try to get this, like I said, I'm going to try to get this in with Adventures League as well. So, all right. Is there going to be interest? Leave a comment in the section down below if you'd be interested. Guys, would be looking for new players. It is a starter box set, and I'm not looking for people that want to power game and number crunch a 4-class multi-class character. I'm not looking for players like that. I'm looking for players that want to role play and just have fun, that have really never experienced a consistent D&D game. And I want to be able to give some people an opportunity to do that on Friday night. And it would be, an 8 p.m. to midnight type of game. And we'll be using Fantasy Grounds. You won't have to pay for Fantasy Grounds. I already have the Ultimate subscription. I've got everything ready to go. I would just need, 5 or 6 players. Preferably 4, but if there's 5 or 6 new players that had interest in doing something like this, then yes, I would be willing to open it up to 5 or 6 people. So, all right. Now, last week, like I said, was a great week. We had actually what I want to do is I want to talk about one more thing. Now, I am going to be doing a giveaway on the YouTube channel this week. I'm not going to mention anything else about this in my Twitch channel or nothing like that. So this is whoever watches the videos is going to have the opportunity to win a couple Steam games. All right, I don't know what Steam games are going to be yet. I'm just going to reach into my bag of holding and pull 2 codes out, and those are going to be the winners. So what I want you guys to do is this Friday I'm going to do a DM workshop, and instead of me coming up with the content for the 5e or Pathfinder or whatever you guys want to talk about, the Dungeon Master Workshop on Friday, you guys come up with ideas in the comment section, and in that comment put down idea for Friday night DM workshop or idea for workshop. It's got to have idea for workshop. I'm not just going to give games out to everybody that's just leaving comments or asking questions, but if you have an idea, put, Friday workshop idea, leave it. If it's for D&D 5e, if it's for 13th Age, if it's for Savage Worlds, whatever you guys want to see, I'll give it to you. All right? So leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if I don't get any comments at all, there will be no Dungeon Master Workshop. I will literally probably just play Football Manager or Dead Frontier or another video game that everybody hates. So leave a comment in the comment section down below. And the people that leave comments will have a chance to win a video game. I'll pull a couple winners out and give away a couple video games. All right? Now, what happened last week? Now I'll move on. We had 2 games last week. Our Rise of Tiamat game happened on Saturday. Happened a little bit later. I have Bright House for internet, and I had a new equipment brought in, and I did not take into consideration the new modem, new IPs, all new everything, protocols and stuff. So I was having a problem with the players getting connected in the Fantasy Grounds. But anyway, that was all hashed out. That was all figured out, fixed, and we got started a couple hours late. So I apologize about the late start, but there's really nothing I could do. But we had a great game. The players were in the Tower of Zonthal, or Zonthal's Tower, and they were in the dungeon. They were looking for Iskander, which is someone that they had met back in Waterdeep that gave them, intelligence that he had in his possession one of the 5 masks that was going to help summon Tiamat. And he had the blue mask. He could get the blue mask. So he found the party in Waterdeep. He brought them back to Zonthal's Tower. He disappeared in the mage and then reappeared in the tower holding up the blue dragon mask. And he was, he loved the Cult of the Dragon, but he was more of a traditionalist. He wanted to worship the Draco-Liches like the cult had done in the past. And, when he got wind of Tiamat being summoned, being a traditionalist, he didn't want that to happen because of the Draco-Lich. So that's when he took it upon himself to take this mask and give it to the adventurers, because our group of adventurers have really put a boot into the side of the cult, and the cult is really out to get our party now. So he had got wind of this also. He tracked him down in Waterdeep. He was going to give him the mask. But anyway, when they got back, they explored the entire tower. They did not find him, but they did take out quite a few cultists. And then they found the dungeon. There was all kinds of evidence of blood streaks going this way, there, that way, and they encountered more of Zonthal's ancient magic, like the basically as they were in space, and basically they were just on thin walkways of stone, and all around them they were just surrounded by space, and they were afraid to fall off of these steps. But then there would be doors appearing out of nowhere, and they found other chambers and whatnot. So it was actually it was a really good session. They actually did find a genie from the Plane of Fire and Afriti, and his name was Terras the Fair. And it was actually some really good roleplay. It would have been a typical D&D, hack and slash fight encounter, but I actually turned it into a role-playing encounter because I want more than just room-to-room dungeon grinding, So I incorporated role-playing into that encounter, and I thought it went really good. And if you guys missed the episode live, check it out. It's I think it's episodes 120, 121, and 122. And they actually found Iskander. Iskander was in one of Zonthal's rooms of experimentation with these giant hourglasses suspended on chains and wheelies and pulleys, and Vey was able to determine, and also found a lot of texts in another room, that he was into time travel and manipulating time and space. And the whole dungeon is just an immaculate dungeon. And they found Iskander dead in this hourglass chamber. And he was clutching something, and as they pulled his arms away, they saw that he had the blue dragon mask that he was holding up on the tower, yelling for the party to come and get. And they actually found it. So they've got the blue dragon mask in their possession, and they have to head back to Waterdeep ASAP to get this mask back. And they also met this genie, Tears the Fair. Are they going to go back and release him? It was great role play. I know Misty's really wanting to work a deal with this genie because he did offer her a wish of anything that she wanted. And, you know, especially Widow, that character, she loves treasure. So we're going to see if she goes back to the Afridi, to that genie from the plane of fire, and we'll see if she works a deal with him to break that line of salt, which is acting as a magical barrier, which Zonthal put into the room to keep the genie hostage, and has been there for over 100 years. So the Saturday's game was really good. You guys are going to want to continue. We're going to have about 4 or 5 more sessions, and they're going to have to try to take out, you know, they're going to have to try to stop this ritual. They're going to have to try to, you know, stop those red wizards of Thay and Severin to stop that ritual and hopefully not get Tiamat summoned. And if Tiamat has been summoned, then all hell is going to break loose, and they're going to have to try to send her back down to the depths of the elemental chaos, which is going to be crazy in itself. All right, so Saturday game was great. We play every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time up till about 8 o'clock. So we don't play but about 4 hours. Now Sunday, which was yesterday, we had our Season 2 premiere of our zombie apocalypse game where we use the Savaged Worlds rules. Sunday is going to be a themed. I think there's going to be a theme for Sundays now. I think the Sunday's theme will be anything but D&D 5e day. So I love D&D 5e, guys, but I got a little bit of flack about playing Savage Worlds on Sunday. Guys, I've been playing D&D 5e for 3 years. A year and a half before the game even came out in published print in the PHB, I was playing it on Twitch for 3 years now. So I need a little break from it, guys. I mean, you can play something a little bit too much, and it's good to take a break from something to play something else. And, you know, there are a lot of good games out there besides D&D 5e. I love 5e. You guys know that. I mean, look at my YouTube channel. It is literally mostly D&D 5e. So, Savage Worlds Sunday, we played our second season, our premiere of the Zombie Apocalypse, which is by it is a daring entertainment story by Lee S. And I'm not even going to try to say his name. I think it's a Polish name, if I'm not mistaken. But or maybe, yeah, I think it is Polish. But anyways. I met him a couple years ago. He seems like a really nice guy, and he has a War of the Dead campaign. There are 13 episodes or 13 adventures in each, and they are a story. And there's 13 in each chapter. Well, we did chapter 1 last year. We're doing chapter 2 this year. Next year we'll do chapter 3. And so forth and so forth. And then it goes into like World of the Dead, which is its own campaign setting, which is about 4 or 5 years after the initial outbreak. So War of the Dead, it's great. We've got our original players back. We've got Wee Willie, he's playing Dee Dee. We've got Miss Scarlet playing Rose. We have got Lord, he's playing Jack. Or who's he playing? He's playing Steve or something like that, I think. And then we have Vay, she's playing Sam, which is like Agent 41. Some 13-year-old kid is just like a trained killer. And the game started out great. It was fun. Poor Lord. First game during Season 1 had his arm bit. They had to cut his arm off. Our first session yesterday in the new season, his foot was bit by a crawler, and they had to amputate half his foot. And now he's got a club foot, unfortunately. You'll get to see them, you know, they were scouring for supplies. They've been on the road for, 4 months since the end of Season 1, which was the, total annihilation and destruction of the gated community Dalesbury. And there was a lot of corruption there. They figured it out. And Dalesbury went up in flames. They've been on the road for traveling 3-4 months. They ran back into DD, which is played by Wee Willie. So there was some great role play on how they met back up, and they were scouring some houses in a partially built subdivision, and actually found a little bit of found some food, found some supplies, and there was a massive horde of zombies around one of these houses. And they all came to the conclusion that there's something living inside of that house, because all of these zombies, there were 36 zombies, they're trying to get into this house. So they encountered a senior citizen couple in the house that they went into, and the lady was dead. She was in her hover around wheelchair still, and she was maneuvering the wheelchair as a zombie trying to get at him. She spilled over, the chair tipped over. That's when, she bit Lord's character, and then they had to take his foot off. Well, anyway, when Lord came to, the next day they wanted to get those zombies away from the house. So they rigged this wheelchair, and Jack was successful with this, which is Lord's character. He's like a very techie, hands-on, basically like a handyman, and he has the MacGyver skill that you can have. So he hot-wired and re-rigged this wheelchair to go in a straight line, and they put the old man that was turned into a zombie in there. They strapped him in, tied a bunch of cans and pots and pans, and just sent him on down the road. And it actually distracted all of the shamblers down the road to where they can get into the house. So now they're at this house, and we'll see what happens next week when they try to get into this house. Really good game, really good start of a game. I'm really happy that all the players were able to come back together and get into the game. I'm just super, super, super happy about it. The first session went really good. So you can see the Zombie Apocalypse War of the Dead game on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern also, and we play till about 8:30 on that game. So there you go, everybody. That's what's going on. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget, leave comments for any ideas that you want for the DM workshop on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, put in the title, idea for Friday's workshop, and I'll put you in for a game, and I'll draw a couple names, and there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my Football Manager channel, guys. Please help me out. Please help me get 100 subscribers there. And till next Monday, happy gaming. I'll see you Friday night, guys. In fact, I might even see you tonight for some Dead Frontier. Peace, guys.